Hello guys, how are you? Today on this car we have the issue with the driver's side window over here. The auto function of lowering and raising the glass is not working correctly. I already did that programming that I did. I leave you a video down on the description so you to see how it is done, okay, step by step how it is done. Already did it several times. It does not work for this side. For that side it does work. Already did also a hard reset on the battery of the car. I can show you how it is that done in a minute, okay? And I can see here, taking off this panel for the door, that the unit over here was already repaired at some point. So the issue may lie with this unit over here. Unfortunately, I do not have any electrical diagrams to confirm signals of this box. It's very hard to get, okay? But I think I can get a box to see here if the problem lies within this box. Let me just shut up the engine for a minute, okay? So opening here the hood, make sure not to close the door with that button assembly over here. This button assembly is no longer available, okay, from factory. And when it was, it costed almost 400 euros. So if you need to find one, it will cost you. Okay, so the hard reset, you want to take out both of the battery leads off. So we can start here from the negative. This is by hand, but sometimes it hurts. So you can do it with the socket over there. Out. Beware that the key fob is out of the car at this point. All the doors closed. Because once we have the reset done, you want to have your procedure for reconnecting the battery in the system all perfect, like I told you on other videos down on the description. So the next thing you want to do is very weird, very weird. You want to grab a piece of wire, okay, just like so. One side want to touch it on the positive side, and the other side touch it on the negative side. This will make sure to reset all the control units on the entire car. Make sure to do this for about 5 to 10 seconds. If you are afraid to do this, or if you do not have a piece of wire, you can do this exact same reset, hard reset, but you want to wait about half an hour to an hour. It will do the same thing, okay? But with a wire is very fast. So now just reconnect everything again. Okay, all the way down. Tightened up enough. On the negative side, first this thing over here. The sparks are normal, okay? And it is a good sign. It is a sign that the condensers were all emptied up. The procedure of the remote is very easy. Just close it. Wait for a bit. That second signal, that second beep, means that the intruder sensors, those volumetric sensors on top of the car, are not working. It is the car warning you that system will not work, because the car has an alarm system from factory, and the alarm system has those little sensors on the inside that tell if something is happening on the inside of the car. Okay, now it's open and the mirrors are closed, but that is normal for this car. Okay, open the door and close it again if you want to, and open the trunk. If it opens, the system is successfully resetted. And now you can try to do again the procedure for the windows. For that I have a video, is down on the description, so this video is not too long. I hope you can understand that, okay? I also did here a deoxidation of the pins of the connectors, all of the connectors, including this one for the door, and also put some Vaseline in. Normally that solves the issue on the 159s on the rear windows. When you have the rear windows on the 159s, down below the seat of the car, you have a box just like this to manage both of the rear windows of the 159. And normally the problem is the connectors, the oxidation of the connectors, okay? Not the box, not the sensors, none of that. Just oxidation on the connectors. With a bit of WD-40 or something, it will be perfect. But on this car, that is not happening, including here the hard reset. did not work at all. Actually, I have here a box, okay? This box is for the other side of the car. It does not work on the left side. I already tried that. Does not work. It came from a car. It came for a car for the left-hand drive, okay? It is new and original. It was just a collision car, and this came to be replaced, but it was not necessary to. So this one, it is for sale. If you want this part number is this one, and this part number may be the newest or the oldest, because there are two part numbers for the same part. Okay, it is an upgrade on the part number. It is for the other door. It is for sale. If you want to buy it, I can do a great deal on this. Contact me down on the comments so we can talk about this. So the control unit is here, and apparently it had a problem with the inner relay over here, but the symptom is still the same. So it will go down on its own, okay, but on the way up it goes just like a little bit of the time, and I cannot program it whatsoever. So my guess here is I have two fault codes over here on the inside. One of that is okay, this pedal light is not connected, but the other one is very strange because this car, this version, does not use the sensor, the rubber sensor, all around the arch, the opening of the door. It uses the programming up and down to detect where is the final stopping of the window. But I am having here a fault code for that. Maybe this control unit is not for this car. But if it is not for this car, how can it work? It did work previously for months and months. So why now this fault code? Why now? Let me try to guess what's happening here. I'm trying in the meantime to do a proxy alignment. Let's see what's what. So let me explain you here how the anti-crushing of the window, when the window goes up, if it senses something, arm, a leg or a head or whatever, the window goes down again. It works in a different way on the electronic side, okay, of the Spider and Brera than on the 159. It is a bit different. So I'll show you how it works on these sedans or SWs and how it works here on this other model. It is a bit different. So on the soft top, I imagine it could have here some kind of sensor like it has on the sedan or SW or even over here, but it is too fallible to be in here. I'm not buying it. Okay, so another system is used on these cars. So here on the 159 SW or sedan with the ignition on, okay, I will raise up the window and you will see what happens when I crush here this rubber. So going up, okay, just crushing here this rubber again. Another place. It has a sensor all around. Do not know really which type of sensor it is. I don't know if it is optic or so you made, yeah, the system now is tired because too much work. Okay, so let it rest a bit. But this is the way that it works here on the sedans and SWs. So this rubber all around can do the anti-crushing system. On the rear doors, if you have a warning of malfunction of the system, underneath the seat over there you have a control unit very similar to that control unit that is on the door of the Brera over here, or the Spider. The plugs, the connectors, normally oxidize. That is only the problem with it. You just deoxidize with WD-40 or something, and everything is cool again. So now on the Spider or Brera, let's see how it's done. So here on the Spider, okay, as you can see, over here, you have the window, you have here the arch that is the soft top and the rear part of the A-pillar. And if I squeeze any of these rubber parts, nothing will happen. So, nothing. Okay, so how does this work? Okay, down again. It works just like the previous models on any make and model. Just make force on the window and it goes down, which can mean several things. Now, in the case of the 159 SW and sedan, we have this system. We have the arch that has the sensor. It has two wires connected to the wiring loom. Okay, this is a sensor for the window. Not very pretty, I know. And we have the motor, the electrical motor, that has the window itself attached to the motor, right? By the window regulator and whatnot. So we have here the window in green. And you have the regulator attached here to the motor and to the glass, right? For this motor, we only have two wires, 1 and 2, which are plus and minus or minus and plus. Yeah, can you remember that from my 155? So in order to go up, for example, to go up, you put plus in this side, minus on that side. In order to go down, you reverse the polarity of the motor. You put plus on this wire and minus on the other wire. If you want to go a little bit further, the button does not go directly here to the motor like it does on my 155 and on the back windows of the 156. It goes to the door control unit. So the button, two T's, okay, yeah. The buttons go to the control unit, and then the control unit sends the power via those relays that I talked about to the motor. That is the way that it works on this SW and on the sedan. Now on the Spider and possibly the Brera, we have a different function because we do not have the window arch, the window frame to have. Okay, so we have here the window, very narrow, yeah, very good. We have here the motor, just the same, a motor with the window regulator. In this case, we have a 2-pole window regulator. Does not matter right now. Okay, we have the same. We have here a control unit with the buttons that communicate via the relays to the motor. Now, how many wires do you think that are on this motor? Because we do not have any sensor on the glass. There are several ways that the system can work. For example, if you are pushing on the glass, so the control unit can, in some cases, not this one, can control how many amps the motor is consuming while doing the job of pushing the window glass down. Let's imagine, I don't know, 10 amps. If you are pushing on the window, that value will spike up. Once it spikes above a certain margin, the control unit will switch off the relay and the window will stop, okay? That is one way, in a very typical way of doing this. Very typical. Another way to do this is, so in this way we have two wires, okay, plus and minus, or minus and plus, okay, two wires. Now, another way to do this is you have a sensor, temperature sensor, okay, like so, two wires normally, to measure the temperature of the motor. Once you have a resistance on the glass, if you have a problem on the glass does not go up all the way, the motor starts to do a lot more force. In that way, will increase the temperature will go up, or Fahrenheit, or whatever you want to do, and the sensor will pick up that temperature, inform the control unit over here, the door control unit, and command the relay to stop, and in that way the window will stop. That is the second way. The third way is the way that is on this car. So it is a little bit more than that. So here we have the plug, okay, the connector. We have two main wires that are the power ones for raising and lowering the glass. And we have one, two on this side and one, two on this side. So I think it is one sensor over here or another one over here. Or, okay, this one can be signal and this one power. Well, whatever. I do not have the, the schematics to discover which are which, but I have to go by feeling. So what I'll do is to open the regulator to see, if, for example, if they are magnetic sensors, for example, or if they are optic, they may be a little bit clogged or whatever. I really have to open them and see, but I think I am very close to the final answer over here. So removing this over here, this is a very PSA-ish stylish connector. So many of you can recognize this plug from PSA tail lights and Renault and whatever. And once you, just a heads up over here, if you have a problem like I showed you on the 147 on the tail lights, those main ones, those center ones, the thick ones, the clip that is inside there, the pin, may not appear to be bad, but it opens a lot with age and creates that problem with the tail lights, okay? So do not remove here this part, this foam, the more than you have to, because it will prevent you to have problems with water inside of the car. Now I'm trying to take out here the motor without taking out all of the assembly, and I can separate the two, yes, but I have to be very careful for the cog not to be out of its place. So I have here maybe a shot at this. Let me see if I can do it. Maybe yes, maybe not. Maybe it will go all in flames. Maybe. Yes, I can. Yeah. Now, not to have any disappointments, I want to put a zip tie over here. Yeah. So removing here the screw, you can take out there this cover, and you notice that we have here the two main proms over here for the power, and the other four, the ones that are thinner, go here to the plate. This plate does not touch anything, and it just reads a ball, a sphere over there, okay, which means this may be Hall effect, okay, these two sensors over there. I have to measure them, and I possibly will go to the guy that repaired my control unit to see if he can do a proper diagnosis on this, because I am not an electronics guy, okay, not at all. So you can see that little wheel over there in between the two proms, okay, that may be the target, and these two ones do the reading. So if one is bad, yeah, that will do. What I ended up doing, I took out here the panel for the other door. The module, that little module, is the same left and right. So the left one is currently working here on this left door, and as you can see, it works. Because what happens before was, as I opened the door, the window dropped just a little bit more than this, and then even if I closed the door, didn't go all the way up. Another thing, as you are opening these doors, you have a click over here to open the window. As you let go, it closes again, which means that you have to do this calmly. You have to open the door calmly so the window has time to exit here this groove. Okay, but now what happens is, as I put the left one over here, I was expecting the right one to have the fault. Yeah, nah, now everything is working correctly. Now I really do not know if the issue was just bad contacts on on the left or and right doors. So what I'll do, I will drive the car for a few days now. Yeah, possibly the problem still persists on the passenger door, because now the module is over here. If I could call it a module, those sensors, okay, those hall sensors are over here on this door. Okay, and it is possible to take them out without disassembling everything. So just take out here the lower screw and take this down. Okay, so it will go like so for a few days, driving about to see which fails. If I have a failure on the left side, I'm screwed. I hope the failure will go to the right side. Okay, in the meantime, let's take care here of the controls, the window switches, because on this model a lot of water enters right through into the buttons. If you can see over there, a lot of water residue. So the symptom is, as you want to lower or raise the window, it does the opposite or does nothing. Okay, that is very common on these cars, and it's just because you can see water over there, and you just want to put some WD-40, rub it a bit. Okay, maybe before that clean a bit with alcohol over here. And on this side over here, I already did have the WD-40 over here. Let it act for a bit, okay, and then clean the excess. But I like to leave the WD-40 on it. Okay, so let's do the same on this one. Now I think I got it. So we have here the motor for the regulator for the window, okay, and we have those two wires plus 4 wires. I know now for a fact that those wires are going to 2 Hall effect sensors, the positive and the negative, then split into to feed here the sensors. These two are the sensors, okay. So the positive over here in red goes also to this sensor, and the negative in blue here goes also to the sensor, and we have 2 separate signal wires represented here in black and in green that go to the door control unit. So why they are necessary? As you are raising or lowering the window, this wheel over here has some magnetic fields, and as you are turning left or right, in this way the system can count the number of turns of quarter of turns of this wheel. In this way, counting the steps to go all the way up or all the way down. Okay, so the anti-crashing is not this part over here. This part here is just to the programming of the position of the window. The anti-crashing is really just the consumption of electrical power of the motor. As you are pushing down on the glass, the power consumption goes up and the system stops the movement of the glass. So the sensors are here just to know the position, the steps of the glass. A fault on one of these sensors will do the symptom that I'm having on this car. But as I was taking out here all of the sensors and whatnot, the symptom disappeared, which means that I have bad contacts somewhere, and I think I know where they are. So here you are again on this connector. Already put some WD-40 on the inside over here, and what you want to do now is, as I said, on PSA models and Renault, this plug here is very common. It is very fallible, and yes, it is used also on some Fiat models, but I never saw so far a problem with this. But what you want to do is to grab here a clip, metal clip that is the same dimension, and you want to feel the grabbing of the inner part. And the grabbing is very, very weak. It has to be difficult, like this one is, those middle ones. It is difficult to put in and it is difficult to pull back. Okay, this is good. But the smaller ones are very weak. This one, for example, I think is not the worst. Yeah, but these lower ones are very bad. This one, it appears almost not to have anything. This can happen more because the door is constantly being operated and with that vibrations. And what we want to do now is to do two steps. Is to adjust the clips on the inside, the terminals, adjust them. Okay, it is very curious the way to do that. And yes, you can destroy them because so you have to have a lot of care. And at the end, we do a little bit more WD-40 and a little bit more of the electric grease, or in my case, some Vaseline. And at the end, let's put this in place and secure the connector in place to avoid further vibrations on the door, okay? So take out here the yellow part of the connector. Sometimes those little tabs over there, they break on the inside. That is not an issue. If they break, no problem. So imagine over here, can you see? It is broken. That is not a problem. Just have to take out what broke if it is there. Okay, so you can put it back together with no issues. Now you want to take out one at a time, one terminal at a time, so you do not lose the trace of it. Okay, so removing here a bit of the insulation so we can have a better understanding of the position of the wires. So now we have here on top, we have a little tab that we have to pull up, and down there the same thing. At the same time, you want to start to pull your wire as you are raising the tabs. Do not pull the wire right away. Okay, just a bit on that side. My screwdriver is a little bit too big. Okay, now it's out. As you have the seal on the inside, it will be a little bit difficult, that green one, a little bit difficult to pass it out or pass it in. And the next step, it is the most crucial of them all. So as you can see, it is quite open, and it cannot be like this. You have to close it. To close it, you want to push on that tab over there and that tab over there. Now pay very close attention to this. When you are pressing all those tabs, if you hear a click, that's it. It's gone. It's garbage. No more, okay? It's dead. You have to cut it and crimp a new one. So you have to be very, very careful. You may use whatever you want to do, the pushing, and you want to do this by feel. So sometimes it seems that it gets a little bit worse, and it's true. You have to be persistent. It clicked, but I think it was not. I think it was the tool. Yeah. It was me that did the click, not the terminal. So now it's very grabby. So it is a bit difficult to put in, and it is very difficult to pull out, which means we have a very good interaction with it. Very good, really very good. Okay, very nice. So to put back in, you just push it in, and you want to see it clicking away. Okay, now just repeat the same step for all of the terminals that you need to do this job. Okay, I think you got it so far. So now on these thicker ones, they are good, but let me just show you how they are. I will not adjust them, they are very good. It's just because on some tail lights you have this doing the ground, the negative, and you have the same terminal, but it appears to be a double one, and indeed it is. So in order to test it, you have to test this side first or second. So one side and then another side. Yes, you have these kinds of terminals that are thicker, but with those ones you cannot feel which side do you want to adjust, because you have 1, 2, 3, 4 adjustments. So I advise you to use the thinner one, the thinner terminal, so you can feel which ones do you need to adjust. So adjust it just like the other ones. Okay, I will not do it, but so you can see inwards, okay. The same thing over there, 1, 2. And then you can feel difficult to put in, difficult to pull out. On this side is a little bit lighter, so I could, for example, try it on this side a bit. Yeah, very good. Okay, very nice. And just rinse and repeat. Okay, so don't forget that on the description, down on the description, there is a lot of stuff that can and will be useful for you. More videos related to this one. Helps for the channel if you are able to do so. And let's see here now if it will go. Okay, it will go easily. As you can see, the plug tends to wobble a bit. There's a defect with these plugs. I always like to test at the end. They appear to be the second one over here, not good. Now, having now the WD-40, it tends to be a little bit softer, but this one not good. This video took about 3-4 months to do, because now I have more time to do it. Yeah, and that is possible because now I am 100% on the channel, as you can see, and that is possible because most of the videos people usually do some donations, and that will keep me afloat a bit. Okay, oh, very nice. And in that way I can do more of these kinds of videos, more lengthy videos, in the sense of time to record, and trying to find the correct solutions to the issues that appear to me. Nice, 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 nice. I see you next time, guys. Bye.